Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you my June wrap-up as well as my July TBR.
Wondering where I picked up the attitude. Guess it's easy when I'm always fucking mad at you. Guess it's easier with something on the side of you. Got me wondering why I ever even learned to lie to you. My psyche's divided. Oh, it's nothing major, but I hate it when you say I know.
So as you've guessed, I'm doing the same thing as I did last month, where I'm combining both the wrap-up of the previous month as well as the TBR for the ongoing month. So because there's a lot of rollovers and not that many books that I've read, so I'm just basically combining both of these videos just so I have an easier time to edit everything and get this video uploaded and make sure I'm on top of everything, because I'm almost there. I do still have a couple more videos to do to be on top of my booktube channel, but I'm almost there, so that's good. So June is usually a very big month for me because that means it's concert month. I play in a concert band, which means I do have a concert usually beginning or mid-June. I also have my students' concert at the end of the year, and I also have this big award thing that we do for the school, which is a lot of work, plus grades for the report card and the regular end of school stuff. So it's a big month. And May is also a big month for us because it's everyone's birthday and Mother's Day and all that stuff. And it goes just really quickly because of that. The end of May was also the tryouts for the cheerleading for my son, and we had some more tryouts during June. So it was very busy, and I did not have much time to actually sit down and film and edit and do that stuff. And by the time I was home, I was falling asleep on my books. I really tried to read, but it was so tough to get that reading done because my body was not following and I was falling asleep very easily. Anyways, so I did manage to read 2 books, which is good. Really happy with that. The first one is Sage and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This one is book number 2 of the Shadow and Bone trilogy, part of the Grishaverse. I am doing a full dedicated vlog for every book in the Grishaverse as well as the TV series. I believe I give it a 4 stars. But I did not enjoy this one as much as the first one. It was a little bit all over the place, in my opinion. Didn't like the beginning in regards to the plot. I don't know. There's something weird about it that I don't like. It's kind of like going forward, but you're not. And getting somewhere just to get back. And it's kind of undoing everything that was built on before that in the plot. So yeah, some things I was a little bit iffy about, but I still really enjoyed it. I really loved reading through it, and I couldn't put it down. So that's good. There's probably other things about it that I'm forgetting at the moment, but the dedicated vlog should be up by the end of summer. That's my goal. So watch out for that, and you'll get like my full thoughts on the full Grishaverse there. And the second book I read in the month of June was Just One Damn Thing After Another by Jodi Taylor. This is book number 1 of a very long series. It's about time travel. I finished it actually on July 1st, the last 100 e-pages. So I'm still counting it as a June read. But yeah, I felt like this story was very on the surface level plot-wise, character-wise. It was very, very predictable. The writing was very easy to go through, but there were so many things that were cliche, I guess, and predictable, not in a great way. Sometimes it's fine for things to be predictable, but like there were no red herrings. There was nothing. Every little type of hint, clue that was hinted to the reader was a little bit too obvious, and it was all directly involving the main plot or the main character. So I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of it. It was okay. I give it a 3 stars because it was an okay read and I went through it quite quickly. I don't want to give up on it just yet. There are some short stories in between the books that are the regular books in the series. I think they came out afterwards, though. I did read the prequel and I felt like it was a bit redundant. There was a big issue with the pacing as well. It was either too rushed or too slow, but at the same time, too much time has passed, and it's kind of weird for a time traveling themed book to have pacing issues, but it is what it is. Anyways, so 3 stars it is. So yeah, let's move on to the July TBR.
Saw your silhouette in the backlight. Swear we could have met in a past life. Dreaming every night like the last time. So I end all my days with you. Yeah, we should share a backseat in a taxi to get home. No need for either of us at this point to sleep alone. 'Cause I don't mind ending my days with you. You can waste my time if that's what you wanna do. Oh, I don't mind if all that you say is not true. Oh, I don't mind. I just wanna end all my days with you. If I'm being honest, baby, I don't really care what this is. 'Cause I've been feeling all this lately. Kinda wishing that a heart just didn't exist. I've been picking up the pieces of the things that you do. I'm always second guessing what could be your next move. Yeah, I'm just trying to see it from your point of view. Never told you that I need you 'cause I thought that you knew that I don't mind ending my days with you. You can waste my time if that's what you wanna do. Oh, I don't mind if all that you say is not true. Oh, I don't mind. I just wanna end all my days with you. End all my days with you. Saw your silhouette in the backlight. Swear we could have met in a past life. Dreaming every night like the last time. Till I end all my days with you.
So for the TBR, as you know, I always participate in the Buzzword-a-thon, which is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. So every month you have a prompt with a buzzword, and the goal is to read at least one book with that buzzword in the title. I am doing the year-long version, and this year there's also the cover challenge, which I'm not doing because I cannot keep up with the actual challenges that I do have at the moment. So that's not happening. But I do keep on with the buzzword because I find it a fun challenge to do. There are a lot of prompts that I don't get in the right month that I'm supposed to be reading them, but I'm looking at it as a year-long thing. So even if I get to the prompt a little bit later in another month, I still count it as a win, if that makes sense. For the month of March, the prompt was to read a book with the word thing in the title. So just one damn thing after another was the book that I chose to read for that one. I did that. So that's one prompt down. For the month of May, the prompt was to read a book with the word to, or to as in T-O-O, in the title. For that one, I chose How to Raise a Kraken in Your Bathtub by P. Jelly Clark. This is a very, very, very short story that he published in a magazine, I think the Uncanny magazine, something like that. I found it online, so it's technically listed as a 32-page ebook, which I should go through very, very quickly. I was hoping to get to it in the month of June, but I fell asleep on my book, so that did not happen, unfortunately. I'm not too worried about getting through that one. It should be a quick one. I'm now on to June, which was to read a book with a memory word in the title. For that one, I chose The Memory Police. In the last couple of years, I did hear a lot about this book. It's supposed to have a lot of statement on our world and women and things like that, but I don't exactly remember the plot, and I do not want to remember, I guess. So there's that. And for the month of July, the prompt is to read a book with punctuation in the title. For that one, I decided to go with a title that I've started to read, but soft DNF'd because I had too much going on at the same time and haven't picked it up in a long time. And it is Hidden Figures, the untold story of, I don't remember the rest of the subtitle. It's about the women scientists that worked for NASA in the 60s, 70s. I loved the movie, so I wanted to get to the book. At the moment where I picked it up, it wasn't a good time for me. There was just too many things going on at the same time. So that one, unfortunately, I didn't get to. So I'm picking it up again. It wasn't a bad book. I just couldn't handle too much stuff at the same time. But I did enjoy the part that I did read, which was not very long. So I'm going to start the book all over. But yeah. Next, I'm also participating in the Year in Asia hosted by G from Book Roast, which is a side quest to the Aurelium Readathons. I'm rolling over prompts from April, and for this one, you need to do the prompts in order because you have this road you need to follow, so you can't get to a prompt that's a little bit further down the road if you haven't read the first one, and so on and so forth. So I'm behind, as you can probably guess. So I'm rolling over the prompt for April, which was to read a book with the word river in the title. For that one, I chose What the River Knows. I've heard amazing things about this book. I'm excited to get to it. I actually, at this date, started the prologue, which is going to be interesting, I think. Yeah, exciting. The prompt for May is to read a book from a series longer than 3 books. For that one, I chose Ma vie de limonade épicée by Elisabeth Barry-Lessard. If you know me, I've been talking about her quite a bit lately. This is the 4th book of I think 8-book series. It is YA. It follows this young girl who is very anxious and has to step down from dancing competitively. And it was her whole life. So she's trying to figure herself out if dance is no longer in the equation and trying to get through high school and all that stuff. It's fun. I know the author because I went to uni with the author and I wanted to support her. And she's just an amazing person, an amazing artist. This is not exactly to my taste in what I like to read in books, especially YA, but because it's from my friend, I know that it's very, very good. I've enjoyed the first 3 ones, so that's saying a lot, and it goes through very quickly. It's easy to read. It's under 300 pages, so I'm definitely going to continue reading her books. And so this is book number 4 from this series. If you're starting to actually read novels in French, this should be a good series to pick up because unfortunately these books are not translated. And the prompt for June is to read a book that has more than 500 pages. For that one, I chose Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb, which is book number 2 of the Live Ship Traders. And this one has like maybe a 50-ish pages, something like that. These are huge books. If you didn't know, I am reading the full Elderlings Realm books. So there's 5 trilogies, I think, and one of them is a series, something like that. There's 16 books in this whole universe. And I love Robin Hobb's writing so much, but her books are so long. I did not finish Matchup, which is book number 2 of this trilogy. This is book number 3. I'm hoping that by the time I finish all of the other prompts and get to this one, that I'll have finished Matchup. But yeah, I did start it though, so there's that. And the prompt for July is to read a book that was published before the year you were born. That one was a little bit trickier to find, but I decided to go with The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. It says on the website that I searched for that, for titles, it said it was published in 1985, but on Goodreads, the earliest that I've seen published is 1987. Regardless, I was born in 1989, so I'm still good either way. I did not know this was older than me, which I was surprised about, but that's fun. I love dystopian novels so much. That's what got me back into reading. And I've been trying not to get into this one particularly because a lot of people have been talking how close to reality it is. And it was a little bit too popular, and I tend to not give in to very popular books, but I'm willing to give it a try since it fits this prompt. So yeah, we shall see how I do enjoy it. Hopefully I will. But yeah, I have not watched the TV series, but I might do a dedicated vlog for that. Next, I also have my wrapped TBR. So as you can see, I have some books and some other that you don't see here on the bottom part of my cart that are wrapped. So every time I buy a new book, if it's not part of an ongoing series, if it's not something that I really need to read like this month, then I'm going to wrap it and mix it all up, and my son picks one every month. So for the month of April, he picked Kaleidoscope by Brian Selznick. I've heard about this author a lot in the past, but not necessarily recently. I picked it up because it was on sale at my favorite independent bookstore, and it has a lot of images, pictures, and I know nothing about this book, but like the writing is not too big. There's a lot of drawings, and it looks like it's very poetic. So, and it's also a signed copy, so that's fun. I am excited to get to it. I have no idea what it's about, but we shall see. For May, my son picked up The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I bought this not knowing, thinking it was the full works of Sherlock Holmes. It is not. This is book number 3 of the series, which I don't mind because I am quite well versed in the Sherlock Holmes universe. I was a huge fan of the BBC TV series with Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock series, which was top tier. And it was based off of the books, but just like in a modern way, most of them. So there's that. And I do recognize some stories in here that I've heard about. So I'm excited to get into it. I'm not bothered by the fact that I'm not going to be reading books 1 and 2 officially. I'm probably going to get to them a little bit later, but not just yet. I am going to get through this one before the end of the year. The writing is quite small though, so quite differently from the other one. There's a lot of margins here, but the writing is very, very small, which is not fun, but it's fine. And for the month of June, my son picked Sunrise at the Reaping by Susan Collins. This one I was really surprised at because I've bought it very recently for my birthday in May, and I just wrapped it up. But I'm happy to get to it because I was really, really excited to get to this one. It is shorter. I did not enjoy the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It was just an okay read to me. It was way too long in my opinion. I'm hoping that this one is what I've been hoping for when Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes got out, and it is on the shorter side, so I'm not too worried it's gonna be too long. I'm really, really excited about this one. And now I'm going to open the book for July. This is a thinner book. He tends to always pick like the small books because he wants to be nice with me and just give me like smaller books. I mean, it's nice, but I also want to read the bigger books, but it's okay. And he told me, because I have a very big one and I know which one this is. This is the Samantha Shannon, The Priory of the Orange Tree book. And he doesn't want to pick it. He wants to pick it last once I'm done with all of the other wrapped books. But I'm like, no, that's never gonna happen, buddy. So yeah, no. Anyways, we'll see. Maybe one day. All right. I honestly don't know. I might have one book in mind that what it might be, and it's on the newer sites. Oh, that's not what I thought. It is a newer book. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be fun and easy to read and go through. So this is called Dans une galaxie près de chez vous. In English, that would be translated as In a Galaxy Near You. It was a TV series for teens when I was a teen in the 2000s. And I loved this series so much. It was French-Canadian, so from Quebec originally. I don't think it was translated. It was so good. It was hilarious. So basically it's set in 2034 where planet Earth is dying, and they're sending this team of scientists to go and find another planet. And it's very, very funny. So it doesn't take itself very seriously. It does sometimes, but it's a lot of comedy as well. And it was so funny. I loved it so much. The characters are amazing. The actors are amazing. Like, everything is amazing about this book. I've learned about these books recently-ish. I saw them at the store and I didn't understand what it was. So they are basically the scripts from the TV show, which is so cool. I, to this day, still say a lot of quotes from these episodes. So like, that's saying a lot. They did have a couple of movies as well. I think 3 movies, 2 movies, 3. I don't know. I'm confused, but they did have movies. Yeah, 2. I think it's 2. Anyways, so this one is season 1, volume 1 of, I think, the first 7 episodes. Yeah, 7 episodes, 7 first episodes. And I got it signed by the actor that played one of the characters, which was also the author. There were 2 authors from this series, so very, very exciting. I didn't necessarily want to get to it just yet, but now that my son picked it up, I'm really happy. It's gonna get me into that nostalgic mood, and it means so much to me. So yeah, right now there's only the first 2 volumes that are out. I don't know when the other ones are gonna come out, but it is very, very exciting. I do not have enough space on my TBR card, which means I really need to get some reading done. All right, so I have a couple of more books to talk about, obviously. I'm very hopeful though for July that I'll get a lot of things done because I am reading as much as possible every day, so that should be good. I am rolling over some more books which I've talked about in the past, but I did participate in the Aurelium readathon in April, and for that readathon I still have 2 books I haven't completed, and if I complete them before the beginning of the next Aurelium, that means I kind of like went to summer school and it still counts as completed, even if like it's not counted in the actual books of the readathon. So I'm trying my best to get to that point, and there's only 2 books left that I need to read in order to complete this. So the first one is The Phantom of the Opera, which I'm reading in French because original is in French, so I'm gonna read in French. It's on my e-reader. I cannot wait to get to it. This is my favorite Broadway show, so very, very excited for this. And the next one is He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan. This is book number 2 of She Who Became the Sun. I've read this already, but it's been a while, so I kind of want to reread this one in order to get to this one. And I am going to be doing a dedicated vlog for this duology, so watch out for that. And I gave book number 1 a 5 stars, so I'm really excited to get to the second one. Next, I've got the books for the Robin Hobb reading, which I'm now on Mad Ship, and as I've said before, Ship of Destiny. I'm not very far into it. I'm now on chapter 3. I am going to try to make it a priority so I can make some progress in this. In 2024, I was supposed to read 1 book a month. That did not happen. I only read 3 of these books in 2024. I was trying to catch up in 2025, 1 book a month. That's still not up to date because I'm now on book number 2 and we're halfway through 2025. So trying to be better in these books, but I really love them. It's just there's so many books to get to. Next, I'm also doing a dedicated vlog for The Diviners, the series by Libba Bray. So I'm in the middle of rereading The Diviners, which is the only book of this series that I've read, and then hopefully get to Lair of Dreams before Halloween, hopefully. But I don't think I'm gonna actually get to Lair of Dreams, but we never know. I might start it. Hopefully. I've put a pause on this reading vlog for a while because I had so much going on, but hopefully I can resume it and finish at least these 2 books by the end of summer. That should be a good goal to get to. Next, I'm also in the middle of a dedicated vlog for the Grisha verse books. I am now onto Ruin and Rising. I haven't started it yet, but it is going to be a priority for the beginning of the month. So book number 3 of the original Shadow and Bone trilogy. And then I'm going to move on into the Six of Crows duology, which is a reread because I've already read before. And then I'm going to move on to the King of Scars. Hopefully, I get to finish this dedicated vlog by the end of summer, which means I'll have read all of these books by the end of summer. The next 2 and last rollovers of this TBR are books that I've been trying to finish to read for such a long time, but I'm going to make sure it's a priority during summer. So first we've got The Two Towers, book number 2 of the Lord of the Rings. I'm very familiar with the movies, so there are some extra things in the books that weren't in the movies. So it's okay for me if I don't need to reread parts I've already read, but the writing is so small. I hate it for that reason. But yeah, it's the type of book that I need to take some breaks of because it's just really intense, but I'm really, really enjoying it. And then the other one and last one is A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James. This one I've been putting on my TBRs for so long. It is very heavy and violent and dark and grim, and there's no word to describe how dark and messy this is. So it's very hard to get through like only reading this book. I can't go through it just reading this. I need to take some breaks and read something else in between. I am going to make it a priority because this one is very long, but I've been trying to read it for too long, so I really need to make some progress in it just to break that cycle of not like getting very far into it. I am enjoying it. It's just really rough to read, so there's that. Hopefully I can finish it by the end of the summer. So basically my goal is to like finish most of the books that are here on the top shelf of this cart, and afterwards renew the books that are there and have some newer books there, which is exciting. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments, what do you intend on reading for summer? Like, comment, subscribe if you wish. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you soon in the next one.